And now we have standing by at his Washington headquarters tonight, Walter Mondale. He's there with the big NBC News Decision 84. So I gather you're very happy based on everything that we saw, but let's break it down objectively. Just 2 weeks ago, it looked like you had a lock on the South,
That's
Mr.
right.
Mondale.
That's right.
And now you've won in 2 of the states down there. You've lost the biggest one in terms of the popular vote. And Gary Hart was running very strongly second in both of those states.
Well, let me just say one thing. First of all, there was no question in the early part of the nominating process, the general presumption was that this was a 100-yard dash and I was going to win it.
That was your presumption, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't mine, but that was the general presumption. That fell apart in New Hampshire. Then the presumption was it was going to be a 100-yard dash for Gary Hart. That ended tonight. Now what we've got is a marathon, and that guarantees the American people what they're entitled to, the debate about what the difference is. Who is Gary Hart? Where would he take the country? How experienced is he? What are the differences? Who would make the best president? And what was happening these last 2 or 3 days, the debate really started in Atlanta, is that once those issues were out, once we were compared, I was picking up strength.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Mondale. You've had some very tough things to say both to and about Gary Hart in the past week or so. Do you really believe that Gary Hart, as president, would be heartless and without compassion, and that he would be naive in dealings with the Soviet Union?
Well, Tom, why don't we start with what I said? I said if you compare Gary Hart's record with mine on the issues of social justice, on standing up against powerful special interests to fight for that average American family, there's no comparison, and there isn't. If you compare my record on arms control and what my experience and what I'm proposing to do, which is sensible and doable around the principle of the freeze, with the some 7 inconsistent positions that Gary Hart has taken, you contrast a powerful position on arms control backed by experience with a position that's uncertain and weak. Now, those are the facts. And that's what the American people need to know. This is not a personality contest. We're dealing with the future of our country, and we need a president who will keep us secure and safe, restore our competitiveness, and restore a sense of fairness. That's what I'll do.
Mondale, let me ask you about your ties to organized labor, which helped you tonight in Alabama, by the way. But overall, so far in this primary season, there is some evidence that organized labor and its leadership has been a liability to you. Do you regret now that you got that endorsement as early and as prominently as you did?
Not a bit. Since when should someone apologize for having the support of working men and women? I'm my own man. As President of the United States, I'll lead this country, and I'll say no to organized labor. I'll ask them to do things, to sacrifice along with everyone else. But the working men and women of this country have taken a real hosing from the Reagan administration, and they've got some rights too. And as President of the United States, I intend to stand up for them as well as all other Americans.
Early on, one of your media consultants said that you dare to be cautious. My impression is in the last 10 days or so that Walter Mondale has taken the gloves off a bit and you're a lot more comfortable with your more freewheeling style.
Look, we've got the debate that we should. If I made one mistake, Tom, it was for 6 weeks, Senator Hart was taking shots at me, saying things about new versus old, the future versus the past, all bunk, and I wasn't answering any of it. And the result was that some of it stuck. Now we're having that debate. And in these last 2 or 3 days since that debate started, I'm picking up strength, because the real question is who's going to be the best president, and I'm going to win that debate.
How much do you give credit to your new campaign motto, "Where's the beef"?
That's helping a lot. There's no beef there.